presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls. Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romide to introduce today's program.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Best Of. I'm Frank Sparks, and this morning we've got a treat for you as we are going to talk about beverages. And the best kind of beverages that there are, which are alcoholic beverages, but not just that. We got a bunch much more than that. JR's Beer Warehouse is the best of this week. Matt Stepanian is here with us this morning, and good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about JR's Beer Warehouse. It's a place that I would think just about everybody in Beaver County knows. We've all been there at one point in time. Tell us a little bit about JR's and the beginning of it all and how it all came about.
Yeah, so we've owned JR's for about 25 years. My dad, Dave, bought it, like I said, 25 years ago. I think it's going to be 25 years this upcoming February, so stay tuned. I think we're going to do something special for the 25th anniversary. But it was one of those things, my dad always worked in the beer business, whether it was with Pittsburgh Brewing, and then he went to Guelpho for a little bit. Guelpho is the home where JR's is now. Mm-hmm. Used to be an Anheuser-Busch wholesaler. Sold the franchise rights to DeBlasio Beverage in Cannonsburgh. My dad went there for a couple years to run that for him and had the opportunity to buy JR's. And that's kind of where we're at today. I mean, obviously it looks a lot different than it did back then. But, I think with anything else, you kind of have to innovate with all the law changes that have occurred with beer in the last 10, 15 years.
Well, and you guys too, with what you do, you're also not only have the business, but you guys are service oriented, huge time. And I want to share a little bit of story about your dad. And your dad don't know me from Adam. He might. I mean, I used to get beer all the time from your dad when I had a beer meister. I still have it. I just haven't done it in a while. And there was one time I used to get this really wild beer, and please don't pick on me for this, okay? I used to get Rock Green Light. Yeah. Back when Rolling Rock was in Latrobe, okay? And they didn't bring my barrel one time. And your dad got in the car and drove and got that barrel of beer for me. So I had it that day, which was, like I said, he didn't have to do that.
He still preaches customer service every day. I mean, he has kind of given me the reins to kind of take things over. But if he sits in a meeting, that is like the number one priority, customer service. And I think it sticks with everyone that's there.
Absolutely. Everybody's always friendly. How can I help you? So it's nice atmosphere always when you walk into JR's Beer Warehouse. So tell us a little bit about some of the different products of different types of beers and things you guys have.
Yeah, so I mean, we have your craft beers, which is Sam Adams, Southern Tier, import beers, Heineken, Corona. I mean, Modelo's. I mean, everyone comes in and says, hey, is Modelo the number one beer that you guys sell? No, it is not. I know that was the big thing a couple of years ago with the decline of Anheuser-Busch. And then we switched to, the domestic beers, Bud, Miller, Coors. And then seltzers have become a real popular thing recently, obviously White Claw. And then, up until last year, now we were able to sell the RTDs, the ready-to-drink canned cocktails. So there's a lot of different avenues for, what somebody's looking for.
All right. Beer the only thing you guys have?
It is not. So about half of our sales are actually non-beer related. Okay. And I think that's kind of an advantage we have. We're not, and we sell homebrew products. Right. We don't have to mark it up because we're not a homebrew store. So we can be more competitive with pricing. Obviously, the snacks, the chips, sell a ton of frozen pizzas. You wouldn't think that a beer distributor would be like the number one frozen pizza outlet for some of the local pizza guys that we deal with, but we are.
Drink and munchies.
Yep, exactly. Candy, obviously we just had Halloween. We sell a ton of, obviously, the Venn bags of chips, count-size candy bars. Everything really works together, whether it's someone coming in just to buy tobacco, someone coming in just to buy beer, or someone coming in just to buy snacks. their pop, water, everything. I mean, 5-gallon bottles of water is probably our number one SKU. We get 2 trucks a week, and you wouldn't think that would be the outlet. You would think that's more of like a Home Depot or Lowe's. Yeah. But it's wild. Everything really works together, and that's why we are able to keep pricing down, because the last 3 or 4 years, all you've heard about is inflation. Right. Obviously, there's some that you just can't control.
Right.
But the ability to keep certain things down just helps out everyone.
Yeah. So, oops, I forgot to fade over so the video's up. So everybody who was listening can hear, but now the video's showing as well. Now, I have a problem because every time I say I'm going to JR's, my 7-year-old wants to come with me. What do you think she wants to come there for?
She probably wants to get the candy or...
No. The darn blue slushes that you have at the checkout.
Yeah, well, that was the big thing.
It.
Once we were able to start selling the alcoholic slushies, it was like, all right, we got to pivot and kind of come up with a plan to where, there is a difference. It's a noticeable difference, because you put a blue Smirnoff in a slushy machine, it's going to look the same thing as a blue raspberry slushy. Right. So,
every time she's like, "Oh, that means I can get a slushy." I'm like, "Okay." So, we're there for other reasons, obviously. But you also have, besides that, you guys also, if you like, Christmas is coming up, people have events and things like that. You guys have party supplies as well.
Yeah, we do a lot of, paper products, for cookies, cookie trays. We get a lot of special orders for people saying, I make cookies and sell them. Can I get, bulk pricing on some of that stuff? I always say, every scenario is a little different. So, I mean, if there's ever anything you're looking for that we need, by all means, don't hesitate to ask.
Well, over the last few years, it's been rough on a lot of businesses. You guys were able to survive. So with COVID, how much did that affect JR's Beer Warehouse?
COVID was a boom for us. It was almost like every time Governor Wolf got the microphone in front of him, you just had to expect a rush. I think one of our busiest days in the 25-year history was like the Monday when they started shutting everything down. And obviously you're staffed for a Monday in February, March. Right. You're not staffed for a holiday-like atmosphere to where, my guys were running forklifts out in the parking lot because people were buying, beer, 30, 40 cases at a clip. And it was just easier to, hey, how many did you buy? And we threw it in the car. Obviously, things have kind of shifted a little bit. Business is still good. The beer industry as a whole is off a little bit, but I think we're well ahead of the trend with that. But I think COVID kind of was one of those things that helped a lot of people out in certain businesses. But now I think you have to kind of keep innovating and kind of getting more back to kind of the new norm that was the old norm.
Well, you're talking about beer and people pivoting, and like beer's not like one of the bigger sellers. Is seltzers becoming more popular than beer now?
I look at seltzers and ready to drink and beer all as the same, stuff that's coming from us. I think that there's more avenues for people to kind of, whether it's, cure their need. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. But there's the opportunity to buy like 24-ounce cans now that are, 10, 12%. Right. That might be the same guy that was coming in buying a 30-pack that would last him all week. Now he's buying, a can here, can there, because that's what he needs. So I just think the whole industry has changed. And anytime you give the consumer a chance to buy less, obviously volume will suffer a little bit.
Right.
But I think as a whole, in PA, I think having the ability to buy a lot of different packages is what makes us stand out. You go into Ohio or West Virginia, some of these states that are chain driven, they can't sell everything. Right. Basically, whatever is registered there or in the planogram for a convenience store, that's all they can sell. So I think being able to give the customers options is a good thing.
So you also, you were talking about convenience stores a little bit. So also you guys have, as you walk in off the left there, you have a big cooler that has basically the same thing, which is takeout. You can grab if you have a can of your favorite thing. Or a lot of times I'll grab something out of there if I want to try something new just to see if I like it or not.
Yeah, I think, we do a lot of samplings. So every Friday and Saturday, we probably have 4 to 6 hours worth of samplings each day. So that gives the customer kind of the opportunity to try stuff. That way you're not making a commitment to whether it's a 6-pack or a 12-pack. But yes, a lot of those, 19.2, 24-ounce cans that you can buy singles of kind of get you the opportunity to try something. We also do take it a step further. Our mix and match, which probably has about 300 or 400 beers in it, is another nice way. You're going to a party, you can take 6 Christmas beers or 6 pumpkin beers and try them and kind of see which one's your favorite. That way, when you come back in, you might know, hey, I really like this. I'm going to invest in a 6-pack, because obviously there's more of a markup buying 1 can than there is 6 to buying 12 to buying 30. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone.
And then you still have all the domestics and everything that everybody likes, like your Miller Lights, your Coors Lights, those types of things. You guys still have plenty of that as well.
Yeah. I mean, that section back there, we call it the domestic section. It has not changed. Every once in a while, there's a new seltzer that comes out, or a new light beer that thinks it can rival Mick Ultra. And, you give it a little bit of love and put a stack up. But for the most part, I mean,
that's my favorite
section,
like the beginning of June when the Busch Light Apple comes out.
Yeah, so that is one. I mean, it comes and goes fast.
Right.
I did hear that there's going to be a Keystone Light Apple possibly coming next year. That just found out earlier this week. I don't know how much public knowledge that is, but I think that they probably see the success that Busch Light's having, and why not piggyback off it?
Yeah, they got smart. They went to that peach beer for like 2 years, and that was like an uproar, and people were like, no! And they finally brought the apple back.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's almost like the brewery, Anheuser-Busch, does not want they are limiting how much increase even we can buy, just to kind of still make it, that shiny penny that's not around all the time.
Do you need some? I could sell you some. I just showed Lenny, it's sitting behind me. I just showed him a picture. I got probably 10 cases of apple, maybe 2 cases of peach in my basement.
Yeah, I could tell you might get phone calls after we get off here. People looking for you.
So yeah, and then I have a fridge full on top of it all. So, but anyways, other things that you guys have as well too. Not only so you have cans, bottles. What about kegs?
Yeah, so obviously we do kegs. A lot more 6 barrels for like home trade. There's a lot of people that you were talking about having Beermeister. There's a lot of people now that'll have a kegerator that might have 2 taps on the top, to where you can get a 6 barrel of a lot of the different craft beers. Whenever I say 6 barrel, it's just over 2 cases of beer, so it's not like a full commitment like you would be getting with a half keg that's 7. So a lot of people do that, but I mean, honestly, the price of kegs compared to cans and bottles, maybe not so much bottles, because bottles are still you pay for bottles, but like the price of cans compared to kegs, the gap used to be large. It has tightened up to where you don't see as many people having the kegerators, or at least going through the halves, the Miller Lights, the Coors Lights as before.
Yeah, I like to keep the Sam Seasonal on tap all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one that's it's a 6 barrel to where you can put that on, and it's not like you're drinking a winter beer come April.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, which is a good thing.
But we still do see spikes. I mean, graduation time, we get a lot of keg orders. Graduation time, Christmas time, they'll start coming in, just because if you're having people over, it is nice to not have to empty your garbage.
That's true.
As often.
Do they still make like the quarter barrels and the halves?
They do. So 6 barrels, halves, and quarters are basically the 3 that they still make. They used to make party balls back in the day.
I remember that.
People always ask, hey,
I'm an 80s kid, yeah.
Do you have party balls? No, that thing, who knows? I never say never. They came out with Zima a couple years ago.
That's true.
So maybe party balls are a thing that they're going to come back out with.
What was that? Coors Light party ball back in the day. You know what we used to do with those? You used to get them, put them in the back of the car, and go out to the concerts out at Star Lake, and you have the tap run into the back seat, and you just sit in the car and party.
Yeah.
That was before the laws were stringent about drinking,
Yeah, there was always ways to kind of get around it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So JR's Beer Warehouse is located in Rochester. What's the actual address? Well, actually in East Rochester.
Yeah, 175 Stewart Avenue, East Rochester. We always used to say above the old driver's license center, because a lot of people still kind of have that in their mind where they used to go to, renew a license, take a test.
Right. So, all right. And then you're coming into the Christmas season. And this is one thing that's really cool, and that I like too, is you guys get real busy during the Christmas season as we're going. And whether it's your dad or whoever, you guys are out in the parking lot directing traffic, showing people where to park too, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one disadvantage we have, it's definitely that parking lot. It kind of limits the events that we can do, especially around the holiday, just because the idea is to get people in and out. But yeah, typically we have 2 or 3 guys. Even some of the girls will step up and go out and help load people's cars, put shopping carts back, help people back out, and just kind of keep everything moving. So I think that's just another part of that customer experience that
it's old school that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, everyone works together with it. People will come in and they'll come out and say, as many cars that are in the parking lot, I was only in there for 10 minutes. That's pretty good. So yeah, it's funny you say that, because like that is something my dad like enjoys being out there.
Really? Does he?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because he'll come in and say, "Oh, I saw a lot of Mick Ultra going out," or something like that. To where it's fun.
Like I said, I he don't know me from Adam, but over the years, just like I would throw weird things at him. Can you get me a half barrel Sam Adams cherry wheat? Next thing I know, he's calling me. Now I got your cherry wheat here. And he gives me a tap to go with it. So, tap handle to go with it. So,
and it was harder back then. I mean, now I can just jump on from my phone and just order beer right from the wholesalers, where, back in the day you had to make a phone call and probably talk to 2 or 3 different people in order to get that.
Right. So, and the other thing that's nice about JR's Beer Warehouse, walk us through a little bit. Like as you go in, you go off to the left and you have like your specialty beers and things like that, and your craft beers. Then in the back, you have the section that's got all your homebrew and things in there. So talk a little bit about the homebrew and what you can get there. And do you have like wine supplies too?
Yeah. So whenever we first started with homebrew, it was probably 6 or 7 years ago, just kind of dipping our toe in it, and it really took off. And as it took off, we just ran out of room to where we kind of moved everything back to that area. We probably do 4 or 5 big orders a week, but I mean, it's everything from, grain, barley, hops, everything yeast that you need to make beer, where you can make it like a la carte kind of, to where you're just buying, a bag of this, a packet of yeast, to down to where you can kind of make a kit, and it walks you through exactly how to make beer.
Okay.
I personally have never made beer. I think that for the amount of time it takes, it's like I think it's better to just buy beer. But I probably obviously maybe wasn't as good as others. But I have made wine. So with wine, we have the kits, and then there's the different containers that have the concentration in it. We sell a ton of wine bottles, ton of corks. You can always tell kind of when wine season is, because you'll see those stacks. They'll go down pretty quick with the wine bottles. But again, I mean, I think the reason it is because price-wise, we can be extremely aggressive on homebrew products, whether it's beer and wine or however. We can be extremely aggressive because that's not keeping the lights on. Everything works together. We're still selling beer, and that's just a small piece of it, which I think is why we do sell so much different stuff, especially in that category, because people are, used to going somewhere and paying 15, 16 bottles for a case of, 12 wine bottles, whereas we can sell them for $10, $11, because that's not, keeping the lights on. That's not paying the bill for the next month. So it's kind of our way of giving back to the different customers with that.
What about supplies-wise? You talked about the kits and things like that. Do you guys have like the fermenters or the aerators and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we have the airlocks, the fermentation buckets, the lids, auto siphons, from auto siphons to bottle fillers to carbonation drops that carbonate obviously the beer, to the different hoods that you put on top of a wine bottle, just to kind of give it that look of, you're going to a party, and it's not like people can kind of tell that you made it, but it's like you went the extra mile with some of it. Yeah. And we do get a lot of special requests for homebrew. Someone will say, I'm kind of in a bind, I need this. And most of the time it's pretty easy to get it shipped. The company we deal with is out of Kent, Ohio. So the turnover time's pretty good. A couple days, to where at least you're not having to, drive somewhere or wait, a week to get something here.
Yeah, my favorite used to be, I always liked the kits, because they were neat, because you could try different types. Like if you wanted like a lager or something, you could always try it and make the kit. My wife used to hate it because she always said it smelled like I was cooking potatoes all the time. I was cooking beer, but that was the way I used to do it. And this is a funny story. I had a buddy that drank Moosehead. His dad drank Moosehead. So that's where I got all my beer bottles, because they had the pop-off tops. So all my beer was always in green Moosehead bottles. So everybody knew it was my beer because of that. So
yeah. And it's funny. You talk to people that brew, especially more brewing than winemaking, and it's amazing. Some people will cut every corner to do it as cheap as possible,
Right.
and then you'll get other guys that love to come in and show you the photo of the setup that they have,
Right.
and it almost looks like a commercial brewery in their house, and it's wild that they're standing there shopping together, making the same thing,
Right.
but just the equipment and how they do it is so different.
It's puts what I do to shame, trust me. So you got that section there, then you go in, then you keep on walking around, and then
There's a reason that you can't. I mean, everyone will always say, why can't a shopping cart fit through this walkway?
Right.
Well, there's a reason for that. I mean, it kind of forces you to check out everything we have,
Right.
go out throughout the whole store.
Yeah, so it's one way in, one way out. And what's cool, then you go around the corner, and that's where all the good stuff is, which is the snacks. And then you walk up through that aisle. So what are some of the snacks and things you guys have as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, chip-wise, we have Snyder's, we have Hers, Frito-Lay. There is some novelty stuff that we'll splash in. Uglies is a new potato chip we do. Benzel, a lot of people know Benzel pretzels. It's kind of like the old school penny sticks. But I mean, we've kind of expanded. There's right now we have like a charcuterie section for Delalo with all the meats and cheeses to where you can make your own. So again, everything works together to kind of towards the overall goal, so to speak, with that. But yeah, you go down that aisle and it's hard not to, find something to put in your cart.
Right, and and the prices are just out of this world compared to it. One of the things, you go in grocery stores, and I like that big old long hunk of pepperoni, and we get that, and I love that, and it's so much cheaper to get it from you than it is to go buy it at a grocery store.
Yeah, that and more, but I mean pepperoni, especially this time of year, that is a popular item.
Pepperoni pizza. Now, one cooler you have like what? Pepperoni pizza. What else do you have in there?
We got so we deal with Eckridge. We have hot dogs.
Okay.
So hot dogs, kielbasa. We sell cheese. And I think back in that corner we have some Marburger iced tea.
Yeah.
Marburger iced tea, apple cider, a local pepperoni, or a local company we get pepperoni rolls from. So we're always trying to change. I mean, obviously what sticks, and there's obviously stuff that doesn't. So you got to innovate and try new stuff. But you have to get rid of the old stuff too to make room for the new stuff.
So now I got the beer in my cart that I'm going to keep on storage at home. Now I got my snacks. Now I got my pizza, my pepperoni. Now I go over and I go into the cooler and get my cold beer that I'm going to drink as soon as I get home. So what all you got in there? I mean, because you guys keep it real nice in there.
Yeah. So the large walk-in cooler that we have is basically the more volume players, the 30 packs that are on a pallet. Whether it's your 24 packs of White Claw that are in there. You were talking Moosehead. There's a big stack of Moosehead in there. That's more designed for like the volume play. Someone's walking into that cooler with a shopping cart that they're loading up. Whereas you referenced earlier that first cooler on the left that's in our craft room is more single serve, 6 packs. Some of the trendy 4-pack, 16-ounce cans. A lot of hazy IPAs. So they kind of work together, but they're separate with it. We do have that's also in the large walk-in coolers where we have like our home trade 6 barrels. So the 1.6 kegs we were talking about is in there. There's a nice rack that we had built.
Grab and go. For
Yeah,
the most part,
exactly. And then you go in there too, and I mean, come summertime, we go through a ton of ice. So a lot of people say, "Hey, where's your ice at?" Because they go in that cooler and they don't know there's actually another door to the left that leads to our ice room. So it's one of those things. Come summertime, it's a mess because bags of ice rip. It obviously the temperature there's so much sweat and moisture on the curtains, but we sell a lot of ice come summertime.
All right, we're visiting this morning with Matt Stepanian. He is from JR's Beer Warehouse, and he's on the best of this week here. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more right after this here on Beaver County Radio.
Found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
We're back here on Beaver County Radio, and it is the best of. And this week, the best of is Matt Stepanian. He is from JR's Beer Warehouse, talking about a bunch of different things they have going. So we've kind of been taking a tour of the store a little bit here. So after you come out of the beer cooler, then you head down, and that's the candy section there where all the good stuff is, which is where I always get in trouble with the kid as we go down. And talk about the different bulk candies and things you guys have there.
Yeah, so a lot of the count goods, whether it's Reese's, M&M's, Snickers, Kit Kats, we have the large packs that have 36, 48 candy bars within the box, down to the fun size bags, to where you don't want the full commitment of spending a ton of money. I mean, candy prices. Speaking of inflation earlier, candy prices are just through the roof. I mean, we try our best to hold and be as competitive as possible, but that's one thing that is just it's crazy what the cost of a candy bar is. But I guess having the smaller bags and the littler options makes sense because, right, you're not paying, $30 or $40 for a box of candy.
I always got to get the Twizzlers, and we're stuck on the Krabby Patties every time we're in there. So that's our hit down that way. All right, so then as you go to hang a right to go out to check out, then right in front of you guys have a tobacco room there.
Yeah, so we do a lot with, different tobacco, whether it's the cigars we sell. Obviously, a lot of cigars, roll your own tobacco. Again, that's just one more thing that plays off everything else.
Okay. And then you can buy glasses and things on your way out the door. If you need a beer glass, Lenny, you can get a beer glass there as you're heading out the door. Yeah, so
a lot of the smaller stuff obviously stays up front towards the register. We got a freeze-dried candy section. We normally try to show some support with Roslyn. We sell a lot of Roslyn candy. There's a section for that. A couple freezers that have, whether it's cookies or the pretzel bites, frozen pretzel bites.
Soda pop, things like that.
Yeah, this time of year, we sell like shrimp cocktail sauce for the holidays. So
slushies.
Yeah, exactly. Alcohol, non-alcohol.
Yeah, let's talk real quick in the last couple minutes we have about the alcohol. So the law changed. When was it? Last year?
Last September. Okay. There was a law that passed to where we were able to sell ready-to-drink canned cocktails. Okay. Which a lot of people know, Surfside, High Noons, Sun Cruiser. So, that was a big part of business with kind of alcohol in cans, more so, that was not coming through the beer distributor channel. So that was a major win for us. And there's different loopholes with it. I mean, obviously, Surfside is probably the big one, and they are a PA-based licensee to where we can actually buy direct from them. So we've had a lot of success with them. I mean, and with that, it's all over the board. I mean, there's some of those canned cocktails that are 4.5%. There's other ones that are 12.5%. Wow. Some of the Cutwaters, we do extremely well with the Cutwater products that are a little bit higher ABV, much higher than the other ones. So it's just one more piece of business that has kind of given us the opportunity to take that next step, to continue to grow.
Now, do you slushy that sometimes?
So we do not. Okay. It's actually against the law to break those packages down outside of like their initial kind of targeted vessel, if you want to call it that.
All right. So what do you put in the alcohol slushies? What's there?
So right now we have MXD. MXD is a company of Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony makes White Claw mics. So MXD is kind of their souped up version of, they have a Long Island and a margarita. So those are two of the ones we have in there. We also have there's a banana flavored one that just comes in a big bag that we dump it in there. And then the other one is Smirnoff. There's a red, white, and berry, which is their popular
I like
seasonal.
That one. Yeah, I like that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
We try to rotate it a little bit, but it's hard. Once you fill up the slushies, and then we have the containers in the back. Because come Friday, Saturday, those machines get hit pretty hard. Right. Because we take it a step further. We do the canned. It's called a crowler that we put the slushie in. So it pours in like a can. We have a machine that crimps the lid on it to where it's just got a pop top, or you can just grab a styrofoam cup too. So two different options with sizing on slushies.
All right. Anything else about PA lottery? You guys still do PA lottery?
Still do PA lottery. Okay. Have a machine up front, and then obviously the machine in the tobacco department is where we kind of have the other machine.
We're forgetting the big thing. I know we hit a little bit on your tastings that you guys have on the weekends, but also you guys give away a ton of different prizes. You guys always have raffles.
Yes. So there's typically 3 or 4 different items that are up, whether it's on a Coors Light display or a White Claw display. that we have up basically all year. It kind of rotates. And then for every major holiday, we do an ad in the newspaper. We use Beaver County Times, Cranberry Eagle, and during that time, we will list maybe 5 or 6 bigger items to where people can come in and sign up to win. I mean, from a Yeti cooler to a Blackstone grill, Steeler tickets, Penguin tickets. It's one of those things that it kind of keeps the excitement going with different stuff. Everyone loves beer swag.
I think it was maybe like 4 years ago. I won the it's a tower speaker, Bud Light tower speaker.
Yep. Yeah. And it's funny, you can always see like the innovation stuff that's coming because these beer companies almost get running with it. Like the big thing now is like these Ninja Frost Buddy coolers that kind of have like the dry compartment underneath. Like once one does it, they all do it. A couple years ago with the speaker towers, one did it and then everyone kind of hops on.
That's awesome. So, well, Matt, we appreciate you coming in today. I could sit here and talk the rest of the day about beer and just talk about the good things. So, tell us a little bit where's JR's located again? Website, Facebook page, and a phone number if they want to get information.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you for having me. JR's is located in East Rochester, 175 Stewart Avenue. 724-774-9330 is the store number. You can find us on the web at just jrsbeer.com. And we also do, I'll probably screw this up because I am not a social media fan. I shouldn't say fan. I'm not a social media guru.
Right.
But we do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I believe that is the 3 that we hit.
A lot of times your giveaways are on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah, so Melissa is basically like our jack of all trades. She's our office manager, and she does a great job with that. But she tries to put it on every platform that we have.
All right, hours.
We are open 7 days a week. Monday through Saturday, we are open 10 to 9, and Sundays we are open 11 to 6.
All right.
Our hours do change a little bit during the holidays, but we always utilize the different platforms to kind of let the customers know.
Anything I forgot to ask you about?
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you coming in and talking about JR's Beer Warehouse. It's I'm sure Lenny's told you that's like one of our, Gary and myself, that's one of our stomping grounds.
We were standing out there waiting to come in, and I think everyone had a story somehow about JR. So feel right at home here.
Absolutely awesome. We love it. So all right, well. You can hear the show replay again on Sunday at 11:30 here on Beaver County Radio. And that's it this week for the Best of Beaver County here on Beaver County Radio.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County. St. Barnabas is pleased to have provided content and sponsorship for the program. Tune in this Sunday